The House will come to order. The invocation today will be given by the Honorable Nancy DeBoer, State Representative from the 86th District. Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please rise? Representative.
Please join me in prayer. Almighty, eternal God and Father of us all, we can only imagine your heavenly throne room, filled with the glorious light of your presence, your eyes full of deep, pure love beyond anything we have ever experienced, surrounded with a vast majority and majesty of heaven and earth, a throne room filled with the singing and transcendent worship of your angelic host. Even in the midst of running the entire universe, you invite us to come as we are. You grant us entry. You listen and answer. We are humbled and so grateful. Please help us to honor you as you deserve, the King of Kings. Please help us to love sacrificially as you have. And please help us to be wise and measured in our lives so that we can feel your pleasure and walk with you moment by moment. Thank you for offering us salvation forever, purpose for today, and unique fulfillment throughout our lives. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
The clerk will open the board for the purpose of taking attendance. The board is now open. Members may check in at their desk.
For the purposes of an announcement, the chair recognizes Representative Borton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Attention, Republican members. We have a Republican caucus right now in the Republican caucus room.
Speaker recognizes Representative Price.
I need my mic on. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to recognize some guests that I have today with me in the East Gallery. They are from the Wayne County Commission Youth Council. Colleagues, please join me in greeting the Wayne County Commission Youth Council.
Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative O'Neill.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Today I have members of the American Council of Engineering Companies, American Institute of Architects, and Michigan Society of Professional Engineers, and the Michigan Society of Professional Surveyors here for the 28th Annual Legislative Day. And Madam Clerk, they are in the West Gallery.
Will the guests of Representative O'Neill please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Rogers.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I wanted to recognize the Michigan United Methodist Church, who is here for their annual Advocacy Day.
Will the guests of Representative Rogers please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognized Representative Grant.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I would like to bid farewell to a member of my team. Erica Ross has been serving as my legislative aide, and she is headed to greener pastures, and so I would like to congratulate her on her new role as Assistant County Prosecutor in Kent County, and just say thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your time, and Southeast was better for having you in our office and helping represent. Thank you.
Will the guest of Representative Grant please rise? Thank you for your service.
Speaker recognizes Representative Coons.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excuse me. In the South Gallery today, I have two guests. Emma Ammerman and her friend Amelia Geist are here. They are students at the University of Alabama, but have joined us today in the South Gallery.
Will the guests of Representative Coons please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Churches.
Thank you. Today I would like to recognize my family in the South Gallery.
Will the guests of Representative Churches please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Frisky.
Good afternoon, colleagues. I have with me today on the floor a special guest from the mighty Upper Peninsula, Louis Hitz. He is a retired Air Force veteran. He served 2 tours and 6 campaigns. Please welcome him to the floor today.
Colleagues, please join me in welcoming the guest of Representative Frisky to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Arbit.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like us all to wish the representative from the 19th District a very happy birthday.
Colleagues, please join me in wishing Representative Steckloff a happy birthday. Speaker recognizes Representative McKinney.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask my colleagues to welcome a special guest of ours. He's a state representative out of the great state of Iowa, Mr. J.D. Scholten, and please welcome him to the House floor.
Colleagues, please join me in welcoming the guest of Representative McKinney to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Thompson. My apologies.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to introduce a very important part of our local government, all the way from Wayne County, which I represent, Wayne County here in the House, is the Wayne County Commission Youth Council that is in the East Galley.
Will the guests of Representative Thompson please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to excuse all absent members.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce today's attendance.
Madam Speaker, a quorum of the House is present. There are no members absent with prior excuse.
Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please rise and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed to the order of reports of standing committees and reading the reports for the Committee Judiciary.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Committee on Judiciary, Representative Breen, Chair, reported House Bill 5392 with recommendation that substitute H1 be adopted and that the bill then pass.
The bills refer to the order of second reading of bills.
Committee on Judiciary, Representative Breen, Chair, reported House Bill 5534 with recommendation that substitute H1 be adopted and that the bill then pass.
The bills refer to the order of second reading of bills. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed to the order of second reading of bills and take up House Bill 5534.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Bill 5534, introduced by Representative Breen, a bill to require the Supreme Court to analyze certain trial court costs and revenue sources. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Judiciary, Representative Breen, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H1.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing in the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up House Bill 5392.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Bill 5392, introduced by Representative Leitner, a bill to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure. The people of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are. The clerk will read.
Committee on Judiciary, Representative Breen, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H1.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There are. The clerk will read.
Representative Fink offers one amendment identified as Amendment 1A.
The question for the House is the adoption of the amendment. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is not adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing in the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 202, House Bill 5527.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 202, House Bill 5527, introduced by Representative Fitzgerald, a bill to amend the Fire Prevention Code. The people of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Regulatory Reform, Representative Tyrone Carter, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H2.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 203, House Bill 5528.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 203, House Bill 5528, introduced by Representative Carter, a bill to amend the revised school code. The people of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Regulatory Reform, Representative Tyrone Carter, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H1.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 197, House Bill 4361.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 197, House Bill 4361, introduced by Representative Brabeck, a bill to amend the Income Tax Act of 1967. The people of the state of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Tax Policy, Representative Neely, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H2.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 205, House Bill 5182.
Without objection, so ordered, the clerk will read.
Calendar item number 205, House Bill 5182, introduced by Representative Menser, a bill to amend the Michigan Penal Code. The people of the state of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Criminal Justice, Representative Hope, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H2.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 206, House Bill 5183.
Without objection, so ordered, the clerk will read.
Calendar item number 206, House Bill 5183, introduced by Representative Farhat, a bill to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure. People of the state of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Criminal Justice, Representative Hope, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H1.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 181, House Bill 5378.
Without objection, so ordered, the clerk will read.
Calendar item number 181, House Bill 5378, introduced by Representative Preston, a bill to amend the Motor Carrier Fuel Tax Act. The people of the state of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure, Representative Shannon, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H1.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 182, House Bill 5379.
Without objection, so ordered, the clerk will read.
Calendar item number 182, House Bill 5379, introduced by Representative Hill, a bill to amend an act to create the Michigan Highway Reciprocity Board. The people of the state of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
Committee on Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure, Representative Shannon, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H1.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing the order of second reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 187, House Bill 5127.
Without objection, so ordered, the clerk will read.
Calendar item number 187, House Bill 5127, introduced by Representative McFall, a bill to amend the Michigan Vehicle Code. People of the state of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed to the order of third reading of bills and take up calendar item number 61, House Bill 4603.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 61, House Bill 4603, introduced by Representative Liberati, a bill to amend an act to promote the safety, welfare, and educational interests of the people of this state. The people of the state of Michigan enact.
Without objection, the bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board.
How's it going?
Members, please vote at your desks.
Two. One more. Dylan's a no one vote. What is this bill? I don't even know. What is this bill? You all right? Wilson? Yeah, he vanished.
The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 4603, there are 95 aye votes and 11 nay votes.
The majority of the members elected and serving having voted therefore, the bill is passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
I move for immediate effect.
Majority Floor Leader moves to immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move to take up calendar item number 62, House Bill 5203.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 62, House Bill 5203, introduced by Representative Breen, a bill to amend an act to define the powers and duties of the county boards of commissioners. People of the state of Michigan enact.
Without objection, the bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed nay. The clerk will open the board. Members, please vote at your desk. The board will be closing shortly. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 5203, there are 94 aye votes and 12 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted therefore, the bill is passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
I move for immediate effect.
Majority Floor Leader moves to immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to the order, proceed to the order of motions and resolutions, and take up House Resolution 206.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution 206, introduced by Representative Skaggs, a resolution to declare March 11th through 15th, 2024 as Civic Learning Week in the state of Michigan. And Madam Speaker, we have received a floor substitute H1 from Representative Skaggs.
The question before the House is the adoption of the substitute. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The substitute is adopted. Speaker recognizes Representative Skaggs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in support of House Resolution 206 to declare the week of March 11th through the 15th as Civic Learning Week in the state of Michigan. Civic education is the foundation for interdisciplinary learning, social interaction, and a well-functioning constitutional republic. Without an understanding of the structure of government, individual rights and responsibilities, and ways to engage in community, civic illiteracy, and voter apathy, things that plague America, will continue. Educators in schools have a unique opportunity and critical responsibility to ensure that young people become engaged and knowledgeable citizens of our great country. As a former educator myself, I know that by teaching civic education to our students, we allow them to develop the necessary skills for dialogue and collaboration, to understand Republican institutions, democratic processes, and our constitutional republic. Most importantly, when civic education is taught effectively, it can equip our students with the knowledge, skills, and disposition necessary to become informed and engaged citizens in our democratic republic, to understand their civic duty, and to live a life of virtue. Informed citizens are empowered citizens. They contribute to their communities not as passive bystanders, but as catalysts for positive change and defenders of the Constitution. I'm proud to use this resolution as an important way to show we value civic education and participation as a bedrock of our democracy, but also as a way to honor the hard work and successes of the East Kentwood High School We the People team. Winning the state championship for the second year in a row, this team exemplifies the invaluable practices of prioritizing civic education and teaching the history and principles of our U.S. constitutional democracy. I'm honored to represent the team school district and share their successes with all of you. As state legislators, it is critical we take the initiative to foster democracy in our educational institutions by ensuring students are well-informed and equipped with civic agency to positively influence themselves and others. By recognizing Civic Learning Week, we inspire young people to take action. That is why I encourage you to join me in declaring March 11th through the 15th Civic Education Week in the state of Michigan. This resolution is available for co-sponsorship on the electronic calendar. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 206. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continue in the order of motions and resolutions, I move to take up House Resolution 207.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution Number 207, introduced by Representative Hope, a resolution to declare March 10th through 16th, 2024 as Sunshine Week in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Tisdall.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I'm speaking to commemorate Sunshine Week in the state of Michigan. The annual observance occurring each March aligns with the birthday of one of our founding fathers, James Madison. Madison widely proclaimed a popular government without popular information or means of acquiring it is but a farce or a tragedy or both. Regrettably, as we reflect on the state of Michigan's FOIA's laws, Madison's concerns about the acquisition of popular information would likely leave him disheartened. We find ourselves at a crossroad where the vital connection between the people and the information they deserve is in need of improvement. In 2018, then-candidate Whitmer asserted Michiganders should know when and what their governor is working on. I agree and would take it a step further. Michiganders should know when and what their governor and their legislators are working on. In my previous role as the president of the Rochester Hills City Council, FOIA wasn't just a bureaucratic process, it was a way of life. We recognized the fundamental importance of transparency and accountability. We created email files specific to issues and comments that grew over time. This disciplined approach ensured that when a FOIA request was made, we had accurate and accessible records to share promptly. Our philosophy was simple. Our work is owned by the taxpayers. They own it, they deserve it, in a timely manner. The same philosophy must apply in Lansing. Sunshine Week should push us as legislators to uphold the principles that Madison so eloquently spoke of. Let's come together and fix the darn FOIA.
Speaker recognizes Representative Kuhn.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As we begin this governor's sixth Sunshine Week since taking office, our residents are left wondering when the clouds will finally clear. Despite this resolution and previous press releases, talking points, and promises, little has changed. Michigan remains at the bottom for government openness among the 50 states. Michigan has received an F grade from the Center for Public Integrity, and the Coalition for Integrity ranks Michigan 47th out of 50 states for anti-corruption measures. It doesn't have to be this way. There are comprehensive bills that would dramatically open our government to public inspection. Instead of passing yet another resolution, let's lead by example and do the difficult work. Let's pass the FOIA bills to improve our sunshine laws and lift Michigan out of the basement in government ethics. It's not just about compliance, it's about restoring faith in our democratic processes. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Speaker recognizes Representative Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in support of House Resolution 207. This resolution to celebrate Sunshine Week gives an opportunity to advocate for transparency in government. In the spirit of Sunshine Week and the spirit of being transparent, I have two clear things to say. One is that actions speak louder than words. My colleagues across the aisle had partial or total control for 40 years and did not act to bring more transparency to state government. The second very clear thing I have to say is that since gaining the majority last year, we have made movement on transparency in state government, and I would agree we have much more work to do, and we are doing that work. So today, we want to celebrate Sunshine Week with the people of the state of Michigan, but not just talking about transparency, but by actually doing something about it. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Hope.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to present House Resolution 207, which reflects our recommitment to an open and transparent government. This week is Sunshine Week, and when you hear the word sunshine, you automatically think Kara Hope. I was encouraged to do that, sorry. Sunshine Week is a national initiative that spotlights the significance of an open government and a free press. Trust in government, the very essence of democracy, has been eroding. As Vice Chair of the Ethics and Oversight Committee, I am committed to reversing this trend. Michigan is one of only 3 states where the Freedom of Information Act does not extend to the executive office and legislature. And as many of us know, and we've previously heard, our state ranks near the bottom of all 50 states in ethics, transparency, and accountability. This has been true for years, but this should be an urgent call for action. We can't just tell Michiganders, we must show them that we are working in their best interests, not in secrecy. We must strive for a government where transparency is the norm, not the exception, because ethics, transparency, and accountability are not just buzzwords, they are principles that should guide all of our actions. When we embrace transparency, we empower citizens, the ones who sent us here, to hold us accountable. It's through open access to information that we prevent corruption, promote informed decision-making, and strengthen our democracy. Too often, financial improprieties of elected officials made behind closed doors only come to light when an investigation is launched by law enforcement or journalists. The tireless efforts of a free press, an essential pillar of our democracy, plays a crucial role in holding power accountable. Whether it's scrutinizing budgets, understanding policy decisions, or tracking the allocation of resources, journalists must be free to do their jobs, making sure the halls of power remain illuminated. As U.S. Supreme Court Justice Brandeis said, sunshine is the best disinfectant. And so this Sunshine Week symbolizes our collective effort to shed light on government operations and increase transparency. I want to be clear, this resolution is not just about Sunshine Week, it's about our commitment to transparency and accountability every day of the year. Thank you.
The question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 207. All those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing in the order of motions and resolutions, I move to take up House Resolution 208.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 208, introduced by Representative Hill, a resolution to declare March 16th, 2024 as St. Urho's Day in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Markkanen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm proud to stand here today as the representative that has a House district with the largest concentration of Finnish Americans. And I'm proud to identify this weekend, the 16th, as one of the special holidays in Finnish Americana, St. Urho's Day. Well, St. Urho is a patron saint of Finland who drove out the grasshoppers and saved the cherry or the grape crop in Finland. And so every 16th of March, we celebrate St. Urho's Day. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Speaker recognizes Representative Hill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And thank you, colleague, for recognizing the important contributions and the cultural traditions we have from our Finnish Americans. As you might not know, in driving out the grasshoppers, there is a great similarity to another patron saint, St. Patrick, who drove the snakes out of Ireland. And so it is this incredible importance of A, keeping the crops healthy, and B, the great contributions of Michigan farms that we hope that I'm standing here today to support, that we boast the most diverse agricultural sectors in the nation. I'm very excited to have folks have a great weekend on St. Urho's Day and St. Patrick's Day this weekend, and I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting this resolution in the significance of St. Urho's Day for Finnish Americans across Michigan. Thank you.
The question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 208. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing the order of motions and resolutions, I move to take up House Resolution 209.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution 209, introduced by Representative Devendorf, a resolution to declare April 2024 as Fair Housing Month in the state of Michigan.
The resolution is referred to the Committee on Government Operations. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
There you go. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to continue the order of motions and resolutions. I move to take up House Resolution 210.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution 210, introduced by Representative Devendorf, a resolution to declare April 2024 as Second Chance Month in the state of Michigan.
The resolution is referred to the Committee on Government Operations. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Continue the order of motions and resolutions. I move to take up House Resolution 211.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution 211, introduced by Representative Ryan Gans, a resolution to declare April 1 through 7, 2024 as National Public Health Week in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Ryan Gans.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am standing before you today in support of Resolution 211, which names April 1st through 7th National Public Health Week. As you may know, I am the only legislator in Michigan with a Master of Public Health degree, and I'm really proud and happy to uplift my colleagues today and to talk a little bit about the significance of public health activities that have happened here in Michigan. Here in Michigan, we were the first municipality in Grand Rapids to fluoridate our water. And in Michigan, the polio vaccine was created in the 1950s, and Jonas Salk at the University of Michigan School of Public Health, where I'm an alum, when he was asked who owns the patent to the polio vaccine, he says, well, the people, I would say. There is no patent. Could you patent the sun? And that is the spirit in which all of us in public health work. Every year, National Public Health Week is designating a theme, and this year it's protecting, connecting, and thriving. We are all public health. As a mother, protection is instinctual. It's making sure that my daughter is properly secured in her car seat or ensuring that she has up-to-date vaccines. Thinking about connecting, this is a basic human need to feel understood and valued and to find support and give some too. Thinking about thriving, it's bigger than one individual. It is the collective, a choice to mend and nurture the environment and the altruistic focus of our communities. To thrive is to provide. Public health is putting people first, continuing to celebrate the diversities of the human experience and stand together. We are all public health because we all play an important part in it. Every policy issue is a health issue. And I now ask my colleagues to support declaring National Public Health Week as April 1st through 7th here in the state of Michigan. Thank you.
The question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 211. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Representative Ryan Gans.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am pleased to be joined today by my two graduate social work interns who actually wrote Resolution 211. Part of the job of being an intern in social work is learning to do the job by doing. So I'm thankful that my students Yanni Palas and Stephanie Evangelista are here with us today who wrote that resolution.
Colleagues, please join me in welcoming the guests of Representative Ryan Gans to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that committees be given leave to meet during the balance of today's session.
Without objection, so ordered. Committees are given leave to meet. Speaker recognizes Representative Burns.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A reminder that the House Ethics and Oversight Committee will meet in room 521 of the Hob starting at 3:40 p.m. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just to let members know, there will be no further voting and that when the House adjourns, it stands adjourned until Thursday, March 14th at 12 p.m.
Without objection, so ordered. The House will stand at ease and call the chair.
For their purposes of a recognition, the chair recognizes Representative Frisky.
Thank you. Colleagues, I have 4 guests up in the South Gallery from the mighty north in Charlevoix County, Boyne City, Michigan. I have the city administrator, Mike Kane, the mayor of Boyne City, Tim Nemechek, and 2 county commissioners, Bob Farrell and Sandy Pritchard. Help me welcome them today.
Will special guest of Representative Frisky please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives.
The House will come to order. House proceed to announcements by the Clerk of Printing and Enrollment.
Clerk announced that the following bills have been reproduced and made available electronically on Tuesday, March 12th. House Bills 5554 through 5564, Senate Bills 774 through 780. The clerk announced that the following bills have been reproduced and made available electronically on Wednesday, March 13th. Senate Bills 781 through 789. The clerk announced that the following Senate bill have been received on Wednesday, March 13th. Senate Bill 691.
Reports of standing committees.
Committee on Government Operations, Representative Liberati Chair, reported House Bill 4927 with recommendation that substitute H4 be adopted and that the bill then pass.
Bills refer to the order of second reading of bills. Messages from the Senate.
To the Speaker of the House of Representatives, sir, I herewith return to the House. House Bill 4511. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
House agrees to the full title. The bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I herewith return House Bill 4512. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
The House agrees to the full title. The bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 691, a bill to amend the Agricultural Commodities Marketing Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Agriculture. Notices.
Appropriations Subcommittee on Higher Education and Community Colleges will meet Thursday, March 14th at 9 a.m., room 352, House Appropriations, Capitol Building.
Communications from state officers.
Received from the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity the Strategic Outreach and Attraction Reserve Fund report for fiscal year 2023.
Introduction of bills.
Representative Phil Green offers House Bill 5565, a bill to amend the Michigan election law. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Schuette offers House Bill 5566, a bill to provide for the elimination of daylight saving time in this state. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Martis offers House Bill 5567, a bill to amend the Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Energy, Communications, and Technology.
Representative Scott offers House Bill 5568, a bill to create the Michigan High-Speed Internet Office. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Energy, Communications, and Technology.
Representative Cernoglu offers House Bill 5569, a bill to impose civil liability and prescribe criminal penalties for the non-consensual dissemination of deepfake sexual images. The people of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Criminal Justice.
Representative Bierlein offers House Bill 5570, a bill to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Criminal Justice.
Representative Cernoglu offers House Bill 5571, a bill to amend the Michigan election law. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Elections.
Representative McKinney offers House Bill 5572, a bill to amend Michigan election law. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Elections.
Representative Morgan offers House Bill 5573, a bill to amend Michigan election law. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bills considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Elections.
Representative Andrews offers House Bill 5574, a bill to amend Michigan election law. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bills considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Elections.
Representative Martis offers House Bill 5575, a bill to amend Michigan election law. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bills considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Elections.
Representative Churches offers House Bill 5576, a bill to amend the Michigan election law. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bills considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Elections.
Representative Shriver offers House Bill 5577, a bill to amend the Income Tax Act of 1967. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bills considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Phil Green offers House Joint Resolution O, a joint resolution proposing an amendment to the state constitution of 1963 by amending Section 24 of Article 6.
The joint resolution is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Cernoglu offers House Joint Resolution P, a joint resolution proposing an amendment to the state constitution of 1963 by amending Section 2 of Article 12.
The joint resolution is considered read for a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Elections. There being no further business to come before the House, Representative Breen moves that the House do now adjourn. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will say nay. The motion prevails. The House will stand adjourned until Thursday, March the 14th at 12 noon.